First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
Brian Miller is the Assemblyman from the 101st, which I think, Brian, maybe, who knows, maybe your district will look a little different in another year.
Well, hopefully it will, Bill.
Because that's
He's hoping a little shorter
district.
Why, is Brian running for governor instead?
Absolutely not. Matter of fact, somebody texted me last night and said, "Why don't you run for governor?" And I said to him, "Are you crazy?"
Oh, God.
No, it's been quite the last 24 hours.
Yeah. I mean, listen, my prediction is it'll happen before the end of the week. He has to step down. He no longer has Democratic support. What do you think?
Well, he doesn't have anybody's support. It's pretty obvious out there. We've been seeing everybody come up asking him to resign, and I'm surprised that he didn't come out yesterday at his press conference and resign. So let's see where it goes. Hopefully we don't have to go into an impeachment situation here in the Assembly. Can
I tell you how I describe what he did yesterday? And for some reason, I always my analogies always end up in the casino. I don't know why, but Cuomo's the guy who has $5 in his pocket, and he's saying to his wife is saying, "Don't spend any more," and he's like, "What am I going to do? Walk out with $5? What if that $5 hits? I mean, I'd rather walk out with nothing than $5 in my pocket," and that's Cuomo right now. You never know. That $5 could turn into something big.
You know, your position on that argument is so strong. I would argue you've argued that argument before.
You may be right. I may have been there. Brian.
He's been rolling the dice since March. We all came out and asked for his resignation then.
Yeah.
He's just been plugging along. Then yesterday with the AG's report coming out, which I found was just unbelievable. And I sat there and listened to it, and it was like, there's no way that he can try to fight this at this point.
So how does it happen? I mean, we went through Spitzer. We're going through this. I mean, how we Silver and Skelos, and I mean, are we just such a mess that this is how things end?
Well, it seems to be politics in New York, and it seems to be that all the top officials who have all the power always seem to abuse it.
Yeah.
I've said I always say that when you're given this position of trust from your constituents, you have to act better than anyone in that.
Yeah, there's a higher standard that you have to perform and be a better person. I might add to this, Brian, and I'd like, I don't want to imply that you've been in this situation, but I'll go back to one of I always say that my wife has made me a better person. She has kept me out of trouble. I have a tendency to get myself in trouble. But I kind of feel like a lot of men are like that. A lot of men, there's always a woman out there shaking their head saying, "What were you thinking?" Maybe it's time for a female governor. I think it is.
Well, I think we're going to have one. Hopefully, we'll have one maybe by the end of the week, early next week. Let's wait and see. That's the writing's on the wall. I believe we will have a female governor very, very soon.
Isn't it ironic that this governor was the one scolding everyone when the Assembly and Senate over the staffers, if you recall, 7-8 years ago, the issue of how that was dealt with, and the governor, we're going to have new rules and new regulations in the way we treat people and the way these young staffers are treated. And here we are. The only one that didn't pay attention to that was this governor.
Well, that was before I was in the Assembly, but we all have our training, our extensive training, and of course the governor probably didn't take his. Or I don't know, Bill. That's a great question. Or maybe he should have went on the Silver Singles commercial you ran just before I came on.
Yeah, Silver Singles. Yeah. I remember that. So, and then Brian, I would ask you about, there's an element of sad with all of this, isn't there? And that we have to go through this as a state once again. And when if you take away, some of his dealings with the school, if you take away his dealings with guns and a few other issues, Andrew Cuomo has done quite a lot for us here in Central New York. He has inspired a great deal of investment in this area, and it seemed like we finally had a governor that was paying financial attention to our region, and he goes out and just blows it. What are your thoughts?
Yes, he has paid attention to Central New York with everything that's happening here in the Utica-Rome area and with the Ilion water system down there. Yeah. We can't take that away from him, but it's just been one thing after another, and hopefully if Lieutenant Governor Hogel's our next governor, she's been to our area, she understands what's going on upstate, and she's from Rochester. Yeah. So it may work out to our advantage, but it's really too bad that we have to go through this at this time. We're just coming off the COVID pandemic. Hopefully, the Delta situation won't set us back. But always looking for good news, and now New York State leads the country in bad news.
And bad news, yeah, that's just terrible.
Brian, has Assembly Speaker Hasty sent any correspondence to Assembly members regarding, just in case, a preparation, a possible impeachment if he doesn't step down?
We haven't received anything yet. I know that Hasty put out a statement yesterday not supporting the governor. We had conference yesterday afternoon, the minority conference, talking about what the time frame would be. At this time, we don't have any idea where we're going to be. They told us to hang tight and see where this goes.
Yeah. So. All right, Brian, best of luck out there. We appreciate your time. And of course, Brian, a year ago, was a severe victim of COVID-19. Brian, quickly, for those out there wondering, despite the fact that you had COVID, did you get the vaccine, and do you still support people getting the vaccine?
Yes, I got the vaccine. It was recommended by my physicians to get it. Yes, I do recommend that you should go out and get vaccinated, but it's a choice that's up to you. But I don't want to see anybody get this terrible virus like I had it. And listen to your physicians, and I would recommend getting the vaccine.
All right, Brian. Thank you so much. Good luck out there, and stay away from that Delta variant.
Yes, I will. Thank you, Bill.
Yes, you will. All right, Brian Miller, Assemblyman Brian Miller. And his district may look this is the district that starts up here and goes all the way down to South America.